Hey guys, it's Steve with my6subaru.com, and our project today is going to be a controversial one. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I think that there are some of you out there who are going to be really interested in what I'm about to do to my car, and some of you that might gain some sort of benefit from here, especially those of you who are a little bit more cost conscious or maybe want to try something different on your car. So, what am I doing? Well, my car is obvious, needs a paint job pretty badly. Now I've already prepped some of the damaged areas on the car, and I put on new body panels like this RS aluminum hood that I wanted to replace my stock hood on there. But unfortunately the paint that I want to use is too expensive for me at this point, and it would just take too much effort and be too involved for me to actually spray. So my solution is to use a product that I've used in several different applications before, but never something this big. I'm going to use Performex's Plasti-Dip to be shooting this. Now a lot of people have actually used Plasti-Dip to spray cars before, and there's actually a website which I've been using called dipyourcar.com. Fonzie and his crew over there have done a really good job at outlining exactly what you need to do in order to spray your car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use their Pro Car Kit, and I'm going to be spraying my 2004 Subaru STI in matte white. Now the finished product should look pretty good based on the cars that they've done in the past. However, this will be a first time for me doing such a large project with Plasti-Dip. However, my previous experiences with it have led me to be very confident that I'll have a nice finished product when I'm completely done with this project. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do an unboxing for you guys. I'll show you exactly what I got with the Dip Your Car Pro Car Kit, and I'm also going to show you the entire process from masking the car appropriately to actually spraying the car. And again, this is a much simpler system than conventional paint, so I'm really hoping that we'll get something unique, something different, and hopefully a lot of you enjoy this. So follow along with me over the next couple of days. We're going to be working on this project, and I hope that this helps you out in your next project, and maybe it helps your car look a little bit better here in the future as well. So let's go. Alright, so before we actually get to the project, we're going to unbox. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to get from dipyourcar.com when you go ahead and order from those guys. What I did was purchase the Pro Car Kit, and it initially comes with 3 gallons of whatever color you're interested in for your Plasti-Dip, and it comes with a Wagner spray gun and some other material that's going to help you get your job done. Now, I would like to note that since I've actually made this video, dipyourcar.com has upgraded the spray gun that they provide with this. I was actually one of the last people to get the Wagner spray gun, so hopefully it works out for me. But if you're purchasing this in the future, chances are that you're going to get a higher quality gun. You'll end up with a better finished product. So just something to keep in mind. Also, I've been using their forums quite a bit to research the whole process and kind of get familiarized with it before I was starting. And I definitely recommend doing that as well. I purchased a couple of different things above and beyond the Pro Car Kit as well. I actually got an additional gallon of paint, which brings me to 4 gallons, because my car is going from black to matte white, which means in order to get full coverage I needed a little bit more paint. So we'll start here. Now this is exactly how they would come. I have opened them up just to make sure that they were okay, but I repackaged them just the way that you would get them. Alright. So what I've got here is the Wagner Control Spray Plus gun. And what this gun includes is an HVLP sprayer. And actually I'm going to go ahead and assemble that here. Locks in. It's very much like a conventional sprayer, but it's actually electric powered. And while I do have a compressor, I just wanted to use whatever dipyourcar.com was providing with the kit so that you could see exactly what you would be getting if you start from square one. A lot of people don't have air compressors or access to an air compressor to where they could spray their vehicle, so I think that this is a good substitute for that. Again, check dipyourcar.com to see what they've currently got. But it's actually remote fed by this hose, which provides the actual air pressure that you're going to need to spray your car, and sort of a vacuum module as well here, which is what creates the actual pressure. Now right here what I've got is our actual paint for this. And again, I purchased 4 gallons of it. So you're going to be getting your paint in this gallon drum right here. The nice thing about dipyourcar.com is they do have some of the best prices out there, and the reason that they do that is because they will actually pre-thin the paint for you, because the way that Plasti-Dip would come from the manufacturer, it's a solid solution which would need thinning done to it. from dipyourcar.com, they pre-thin it for you. So not only is it less expensive, but some of that work is already done for you. You don't have to worry about thinning it before you spray it. You just go with their setup. You just give it a shake before you get going, and you're good to go. The other nice thing about this, I also noticed, is that they do come with paint strainers as well. So. Now, last but not least, one of my major concerns when we're doing this is I wanted to make sure that if I damaged it at all, I would be able to repair it in a timely manner. I also wanted to make sure that I could prep the car effectively and that after the car is done, I could clean the car without a problem. So before we actually get to dipping the car itself, we've got the spray right here, and the spray is going to allow us to degrease and de-wax the entire vehicle to allow good adhesion for the paint, so it'll last as long as possible. We've also got the dip washer as well. Now I think the actual kit includes one of these if you purchase the Pro Car Kit. I opted for another one, just again because I've got a white vehicle. Finally, I've got the actual repair kit. The solvent that you would use is right in here. What it does is it'll actually break down the Plasti-Dip after it's been applied, and it'll allow you to spread it around and smooth out the edges so that you can respray over the top of it. So now that you've kind of got an idea of what's included in your kit when you purchase it, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to wait for a nice morning where I can tape the vehicle off and spray it. This week it's looking like it's going to be about 90 to 100 degrees, and that's a little bit hot for this. I'm going to try for a morning where it's maybe 70 degrees or so I can get a good, well laid down product. So the next time you watch this, I'm going to be taking the car off. Alright guys, it's the evening before I'm going to actually Plasti-Dip my car, and what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to mask off some of the stuff that needs masking prior to me actually doing this. Now, I took the car through the wash already and cleaned it up a little bit. I got most of the surface dirt off of it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the car sit overnight and dry, because the last thing that you want is loose water potentially getting under your Plasti-Dip and ruining the final product. So now we're going to go ahead and mask off any areas that need to be masked off. And again, Plasti-Dip is very forgiving as far as the masking process, because if you do happen to spray onto something that you don't want, you can just peel it off. It's not really a big issue. As long as you can get your fingernail under it, you can cut it upwards. So we're going to go ahead and start doing kind of a loose mask around it, and this will just help me prepare for tomorrow so I don't have to take so much time in the morning, and I can take advantage of the cooler morning air to actually spray in. And again, the peeling process is pretty easy with Plasti-Dip, but again, just be careful when you're doing this whole thing, because the better job you do with this, faster you're going to be able to clean everything up, the better your final product's going to look. Okay, so now that you've got all of the windows masked off, it's time to do the radiator area. Now, on my car, I've got a front mount intercooler too, so I'm going to be doing that as well, but it's all kind of the same. First, we're going to go ahead and pop our hood. Then, you're going to want to make sure you've got some cardboard, again, your masking tape, and a pair of scissors so that you can do any trimming that you feel might be necessary. So, we'll get started. We'll take the cardboard, we're going to push it down in front of the core support, and so what that's going to do is block off that area right there. Alright, now that you've got most of the stuff masked off up front here and you're confident that no Plasti-Dip's going to get through to your intercooler or to your radiator, you can go ahead and close your hood up. You don't need to worry about masking the headlights off. I'll show you later how you can deal with that. I do have to remove my license plate here, but the front end should be good to go right after we complete that. So, alright. Okay guys, it's the morning and I just finished masking everything off. We've got a slight breeze today, so I'm going to have to take care of some of the masking here a little bit, and hopefully it'll go away. But here's a quick run around. So you can see I finished the grills up. I put bags over the wheels to protect the wheels themselves. I did the rear view mirrors, and you'll notice I did the joints as well through here just to keep material from getting in there, because it would be very difficult to get out later. Again, the rear wheel. Completed the rear windshield, and I did the muffler as well, along with my tow hook. And the other wheels. And the joint again. And the front wheel. So now I think we're pretty much good to go. Hopefully this wind won't cause too much of a factor in the whole spraying process, but let's get going. Okay, now before we even begin to think about actually dipping the car, you'll want to prep the surface so that you get good adhesion for the dip before it goes down. So what I purchased was the pre-dip spray from dipyourcar.com, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot on a regular microfiber towel, go over the whole car quickly. It'll provide a good base for the actual dip to adhere to, and it'll make the finish last a lot longer in the long run. Now, the car's been done in pre-dip spray. I've got all my paint laid out, my stirring sticks, everything I'm going to need. I set up the Wagner spray gun as well, and here's the reservoir that we're going to be using for it. Now, the nice thing about dipyourcar.com is they actually will pre-thin the paint for you, because Plasti-Dip does need to be thinned before you spray it. However, there is quite a bit of separation in shipping, and so you're going to want to make sure that you shake it up, and then you're going to want to stir it before you put it into your spray reservoir. So, here we go. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and open it up. Alright, so I set the gun up, we're good to go. I tested it out a little bit, and the spray pattern seemed alright. Nice and straight up and down, and we're going to go ahead and start playing around with it a little bit. I've got my knob set kind of in the middle here. Depending on how much product I'm laying down, I can either pull it back or I can put more on the car. I'll just kind of determine that as I'm spraying. Okay, so I finished the first coat on the car. Again, we're looking for about 50% opacity or so here, which I think we got. It's turning out pretty smooth. It looks all right so far. Again, you're going to get lots of stripes and whatnot on this first coat because it's very light, and there's a lot of areas of unevenness. And so what we're going to do is probably going to be looking at doing about 5 to 6 coats. Alright guys, here's the finished product. I've got about 7 coats or so on the car right now. Pretty much 100% coverage on here. There's a couple of small areas that I'd like to touch up a little bit later, but the nice thing about Plasti-Dip is that it's easy to touch that up. Now, some of you are going to remember earlier I said not to bother masking off the headlights and not to bother masking off the side windows, and I'm going to show you why right now. The nice thing about Plasti-Dip is that once you get a fingernail under it, or you get something under it, you can actually peel up the paint at wherever the location is at. See, it doesn't come out very easily by itself, but once you start it going, it'll just keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this headlight. Get my fingernail under it first to kind of get it started. And you're going to notice too when you're spraying, or when you're going to notice too when you're peeling that the heavier you put your Plasti-Dip on, the easier it is to peel. It won't break apart quite as easily. That's why I love Plasti-Dip. The peeling process is practically magical. It literally has the same texture as like a balloon. I can grab it and I can stretch it Very impressive stuff. And it's only been drying for maybe half an hour. You know, it probably does a better job creating this line than you possibly could with masking tape. Again, just pulling it all off in one big piece. All right, there we go. Perfectly cut. Here's the finished product. You'll notice I'm still peeling in some places, but for the most part it's done. Some of the trim still needs to be done and whatnot, but now you notice right here I left this window. Now if you've got an area like this where the Plasti-Dip is still on here but it's too light, you could use your fingers to get rid of it, but that would take forever and your fingers would end up hurting. I recommend using a microfiber towel. If you use one of these, just rub it on. And there you go, your window is done. Nice and clean. Alright guys, that's it. I hope this video helps you a little bit. I know it was a fun process for me, and the nice thing about Dip is not only can you change the entire look of your car easily within a day, but it's totally reversible. It's a durable finish. I mean, it'll stand up to most things that conventional paint will have to deal with, but at the same time, if you ever get sick of the look, you can just replace it, or if you need to fix a damaged body panel, it's an easy matter of just pulling off what you had before, and then you can spray that body panel individually, and you'll end up with a fantastic looking product. Again, definitely check out dipyourcar.com if you're interested in going through this process. They've got a lot of helpful videos. They helped me out quite a bit when I was trying to research this entire project, and definitely check out my6subaru.com for more do-it-yourself how-tos, tutorials, things of that nature, and definitely get on there and check out some of the other stuff that we've got. Thanks very much for your time. I hope this helped you out. Again, this is Steve with my6subaru.com.